Welcome in the Stiffs. Thank you very much to our sponsors for Series 2, Budge & Motors. Been established for 40 years, best car dealership in Shropshire.
This will be the last one. New Year's, and that's it.
So that's the third. Yeah. The third. That is third of Happy New Year. Last one of the series.
Welcome to the first episode of 2023.
Are we saying this is the last episode of the series?
Yeah. Let's keep this in. And also the last episode of Series 2, sponsored by Budge & Motors. Best car dealership in the whole of Shropshire. And happy anniversary, lads. 1 year since we started in the Stiffs podcast.
To the day.
Today, when we record, this is the 28th of December when we record, and this is exactly 1 year since we did our first episode. A picture popped up on Facebook of us three having a little cuddle after a couple of beers, celebrating our first episode. And we were going to do the same today, but Dave, you're not feeling great, are you? Not 100%.
No. We looked young in that picture as well, didn't we?
Yeah,
it's a tough year.
Look, it's been a stressful
done some
year.
travelling, haven't we?
I was like,
putting some miles.
Yeah, it flashed up on my Facebook. Man, I thought, what's it good? Look at that 5 years ago. I can't remember us having a night out 5 years ago. My face is covered in wrinkles.
But Gav, you sent a video across, didn't you? Like a little montage that we'll put out on social media.
Yeah, we'll stick it out tonight.
Which, shows all the things we've done this year. And wow, it's incredible that much has gone in for the last 12 months, hasn't it? The experiences we've had, the kind of journey we've gone on so far, 2 seasons, the amount of guests we had. We've done a live show. We've got another one coming. It's incredible how much we've
worked hard, haven't we? We're hard workers. You know, it's not a lot. Well, like, I think it sums up probably our careers a little bit there. Like, isn't it? A lot more graft than talent.
Most definitely. Just keep
100%.
going. Just keep going.
Keep persevering. No matter how many no's you get, keep going.
Loads of negative feedback, it just doesn't deter us. We just keep going. It's the same with football. No matter how many boos I got or how many, you should pack it in. You shouldn't play football. Just kept going.
You mentioned experiences there. We said it early, didn't we? I think it might have been after the Connor one or the Joe one. And like, we were already going, even if we don't get anything out of this, we're having unbelievable experiences already. And like, I always think about, obviously, the journeys that we've had, going up to Scotland to see Joe, just being in his apartment and having the 5 guys, and just brilliant, wasn't it? We had a great day.
Amazing.
I remember though, like, I think we've mentioned it a little bit before, but wait, it's not just come out of the blue, was it? Like, Gav was trying to get us together, weren't you, for ages? And it was a great idea, and just because you were manager at Telford, weren't you? And you were playing. Who were you playing for?
Still at
Shrewsbury.
You were still
Shrewsbury.
Back end at Shrewsbury, so it was.
It's before lockdown, wasn't it? So it'd have been 2019, 2020, the initial conversations. So yeah,
we should have had it out for lockdown, wouldn't it? Would have had millions of listeners by then.
Yeah.
I reckon been millionaires now if we'd done over lockdown.
Yeah, I reckon that.
We didn't time it very well. Never mind.
But yeah, it was good, wasn't it? Like, I think we all jumped on board straight away, didn't we? We're all like, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do it. Dynamics work, or we thought it would work.
Yeah. No experience though. We thought, just give it a go. Give it a go. See how it goes, and it.
When you look back now,
how great was that first day?
The first episode. I listened to the first episode. First impressions, wasn't it? And me and Gav was talking over each other. Same as now, really.
Basically, yeah. When we do go out for a beer on Friday, it'll just be you won't be able to. We're incoherent, and we're just talking over each other all the time.
But it doesn't sound great. Have you listened to that first episode again, Dave?
Yeah.
It's funny though. It is funny. We're talking about the first time you come to Shrewsbury Town, and that it's good. It's not about your crucifix, which I know you're denying, but I remember being excited.
Mate, we were just saying before we came on air that you always put 10% on a story. That's Sam's 10% on a story.
I took 10% off that story about you.
I had 10% off. I had beads on. I had a vest. I had
Trilby.
One glove, ripped jeans.
One white glove covered in diamonds. He walked out doing the moonwalk.
Came out of Gary Peters' office doing the moonwalk.
I think we've spoken about the first series, so we won't spend too long talking about that. But I think my favourite, when we started to really enjoy it, was when we started doing the 5-a-side teams, I think. We started to relax a little bit more then, didn't we, and talk about those, like the best players we played with in the 5-a-side teams. I was looking back through some of the titles as well, and we said like best and worst players we played with. We didn't really mention many worst players, did we? We've just been a bit nice then, I think, that first series.
Yeah, it's not nice. It's not nice if you're listening to a podcast and your name pops up as the worst player.
I put on
Dave and Gav have got a podcast. If I give that a listen,
I put on our old Shrewsbury WhatsApp group like best and worst players, and I thought there'd be a few lads a bit nervous listening to that one. I could be in for mention there.
Best was good, but like you say, worst. It's hard to criticise lads though, isn't it? That if you're getting paid to play football. It's hard to criticise lads, isn't it? Because we all know, like,
How much work goes into it?
How much work, even if you're, you know, probably in my case, you're not overly talented, but you're having a right go. Like, a lot of dedication, a lot of knockbacks. A lot of people don't see all of that, do they?
If you get paid to play football, though, you know, you've done well, haven't you? You know, if someone's giving you money to play, fair play, you've got to be very, very.
If you're paying the mortgage from playing football and it's like you're supporting your family, you've had a word, haven't you?
Yeah,
of course.
I was just thinking more of somebody getting 50 quid to play.
Yeah, even
Still
then.
not bad.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Because most people pay to play football, don't they? Do you know what I mean? They'll pay their subs, they'll pay their training fees.
Yeah.
My whole thing was wherever we went, people used to say, I'd get introduced at a family event or something, and someone would go, "Oh, you're a footballer," and I sort of go, "Yeah, I try to be." And Holly would say, like, "What? Why do you always say try to be?" I said, "It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because I'm not going to stand next to John Terry and go, oh yeah, we're left side centre half, me and John, both footballers." Because John would be going like you won the FA Trophy, like I didn't see you in the Champions League. It's a hard one, isn't it? And try and show that humility, but still very proud to have earned money.
You do lose your identity a little bit though. That situation, the amount of times you get introduced as the footballer, and they kind of forget everything else about it, and then that's all anyone wants to talk about, which is fine. But I always find it awkward in family situations where you're there and you might be there with siblings or
cousins,
with your wife. Or even like I'll be at an event with my wife and they'll just blatantly just turn away from her to talk to me about football and think I'm studying here with my wife, and it's just, do you know what I mean? It's social, but everyone's so intrigued about football that's
my one's my brother. It's brilliant, and I tease him about it now. It's brilliant because he's like, my brother's like was in the army for 25 years. He's been to Iraq, Afghanistan. He's been to Northern Ireland, Kosovo. Like he's literally got medals. My brother that come so far off his chest, he has to have an extension bar. So whenever we go to like a wedding or a funeral, he wears his 1s and 2s. And it's brilliant because he's the absolute war hero. I'm some like dog and duck lower league footballer.
Wearing a vest.
Wearing a vest and rosary beads with my trilby on. And I'm always stood there. It's brilliant. And I call it every time. And my brother stood there and he's like proud as punch. He's always got this rigid back. He's always got his like ironing board in his shirt. And I'm just stood there like obviously looking sharp and spray tan and everything. And they always come and go, "All right, Gav, how's the football?" And my brother just stands there going, flipping it, what have I got to do? I'm a war hero. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like I say, some lower league footballer. And my brother stood there going, "I've sort of been protecting you lot for 25 years." I always say to him, "So go and get the golden boy a drink. Go and get us a drink, bro."
It's just because it's so massive, isn't it? See, every time I speak to Ryan, like we don't talk about me at school because like I'm fascinated to know about football. It's all I want to do is pepper him with questions all about like what's happening, who you trying to sign, what's been going on, what's the lads like, because we're all just fascinated by football, aren't we?
Yeah.
So I think that's what you talk about.
After about half an hour, kids are well then, yeah?
Yeah. How's the missus? What about, though, moving on from Series 1? Series 1 was amazing. Then we had 2 superstar guests, didn't we? I mean, we still tell that story about how we got the guest, Conor Cody. One about getting, no offence to Andy Tretton, but we're going to get Andy Tretton in as our first guest, won't we? And then Dave went, "What about Conor Cody, lads? Would that be a decent guest?" And we were like, "Yes, Dave."
I think we both fell back on the sofa, didn't we? Going,
he went, he'd do it if you wanted him. I was like, "Yes, Dave, we do."
What about when Conor came, though? Just to touch on him a little bit, he was class, wasn't he?
Yeah, our first guest. So we were a little bit not 100% sure how it would go, the interviewing dynamic of a podcast and things like that. But I think just I speak so highly of him anyway, but his personality helped us along, didn't it, massively?
Yeah.
And I thought he carried it with his stories, his enthusiasm, and then you realise he's an England centre-half at the same time. It was perfect first guest, I think, for us, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely, because we weren't sure what we're going to be like, because we'd never really done interviews before. Turned out it was like Michael Parkinson and Winfrey, weren't we? We were smashing it, but like, we didn't know how it was going to go. We didn't know how it was going to go, though, did we?
He not that I didn't have any faith, but he sort of I came away feeling like a bit of a warm glow with Conor, because he almost reinstated that faith of lads like him. And like we knew it anyway, but obviously the narrative is lads like him earning loads of money, comes from Liverpool, good-looking lad, young. He's going to be a certain way, but what a human being he was. Just a great guy, wasn't he? All about family, all about football, completely dedicated. Spoke about his dad 300 times. Spoke about his wife, his kids. Just brilliant, wasn't he?
But even like just logistically. So we asked him to come on. He's finished training at Wolves. He's drove over to Telford, and then he's stayed here till 5 o'clock, and then gone back to St. Helens to see his family. So he's taken time out of his day, going out of his way from a geographical point of view to come and see us, and then giving us all that time and all that enthusiasm, and not moaning once or anything like that. Just
I mean,
and not that he would, but
No, he
like
would.
like you say,
He could have easily said, do we get paid? Like, no one at all. Saying that, Michael Bridges rang me, didn't he? And he said, he went, oh, my agent just rang me, Sam. Am I going to get paid for the podcast? I said, no. But honest, my agent asked me agent's fuming. I was like, flipping heck. I says, I've known you since I was 16. I
His
said,
agent wanted a
tell
cut.
your agent, I'll ring him. Like, you've known me mate since he's 16. I'm not paying to talk to you.
Yeah, we haven't been paid yet.
No,
Flipping heck.
like, no one gets paid.
Yeah.
Do they on the other podcast then?
I reckon when you get to a certain level, obviously we haven't quite reached that level yet, have we?
no, I'd like to think we got paid sometime before we.
Still
waiting.
The guests get paid
Just to be
for a lot of
reimbursed at the
podcasts.
moment.
Yeah.
I wonder if I don't know. I need to ask under the cost. Do they pay people to go on there or not? I don't think people.
I reckon some guests they would, like some of the high profile ones. Who've they had that's high profile?
It's a difficult one because if it's a big podcast like that, it's a great opportunity for someone to kind
Yeah,
of
so I suppose you wouldn't lift
lift their own persona, isn't it?
Like when I text McAtee about coming on, he said, "Oh, it depends how much you pay me." I presumed he was joking, but he hasn't got back to us. I just put laughing face, and I thought, no, maybe.
Just thinking of him though, another one.
Just go to Series 3. If we do a Series 3, which we probably will, won't we? But we haven't even discussed that yet.
No.
Probably jumped the gun a little bit by.
We should do a poll on Twitter.
Yeah.
Just notice
A simple yes or no?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Could be embarrassing. What happens if we get like 75% no? We just jack it in.
Yeah. Go like proper balls deep. Just go
what
like,
would we do?
this is what we do. Well, we just do it anyway.
Yeah.
Just
We can't come back with a different name.
We'll tweet the 25% that have said yes,
that's
and
it,
then
yeah.
go with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we'll do. We'll just go.
Come back with a different name.
25% people want to listen 100% of the time.
That doesn't even make sense. It's a great film. So go on then.
Like, sorry, what one? Yeah. So Series 2. Oh, just quick, I want to mention resilience as well, because that's come up a lot, hasn't it? And I watched something about Thomas. What's he called? Hal
Sorensen.
Thomas Edison.
No, I'm not talking about Thomas Sorensen. What's his name? Harold Robson Carnu.
Yeah.
I watched something Drew Broughton shared it. I shared it on LinkedIn. He'd be a good guest. We get you know him, don't you, Dave? We get him on, Robson Carnu. I know Drew as well. Hopefully we get both of them on. They were talking about resilience and mental health and everything like that. I think we have touched on that a little bit, haven't we? But we'll probably try and speak about that a little bit more. But I was just thinking about Harry
Deep though, isn't he, Drew?
Yeah,
He goes
the,
deep.
The fear coach. He does.
Yeah.
He puts on like sessions for people, doesn't
Yeah.
he? They go,
If you're on
go
LinkedIn, definitely try and connect with him because he's really deep. Yeah. Depends how deep you want to go. I've still got a scar on my leg from him. Get him on. I want to have a chat with him.
What was I talking about there?
Resilience.
Harry Kane, resilience. And he talked about him missing that. And he missed the penalty, obviously, for England. Everybody saw. And I saw it was somebody retweeted the Brentford that played? Brentford fans saying you let your country down. I thought, but even the commentator, like, it was about 45 minutes into the game, and like Kane had missed a shot or something, and the commentator's gone, oh, it's going to be really difficult to say, how he copes psychologically, and if he can get over the disappointment of missing that penalty, and the longer he doesn't score, the longer the pressure will build. And I was like, it's 45 minutes gone. Then 10 minutes,
20 minutes later, he scored, didn't he?
Scores an absolute bullet header, and it's just like, there you go. That's why he is who he is. Like, amazing. I thought if anybody to criticise him, then I got this big argument on my mate's WhatsApp group because they were like slagging him, and I was like, he's missed a penalty.
Yeah.
Let the country down, missed a penalty. The morons who are letting the country down are the people who are slagging them off and singing things like that.
But going back to the reason why people would rather speak to me than my brother at a wedding or a funeral is because it's such a big deal, isn't it? Football is so big and prevalent in people's lives, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like they constantly just want to talk to you about it. Like you said, you lose your identity. People connect to it. People want to have an opinion on it. If you're in it, you're there to be shot at. It's just there, isn't it? He's missed a penalty.
Yeah.
Flipping heck.
I
Think about all he's done.
He will, but he'll be so disappointed. But he's so narrow-minded that he would, during that game, he is just thinking about scoring a goal. You know what I mean? That's gone. Do you know what I mean? That's behind him. He's looking at the future. And he's not going to be nervous playing at, no disrespect, at Brentford, is he? Do you know what I mean?
So
he's
go
just
on,
going to go out there and think, I'm going to score a goal. And
give us an example then of obviously playing elite football when you were playing in the Premier League, a disappointment that you felt like you had to overcome and that you had to be really focused and narrow-minded and selfish about, and you had to get in that zone because you were being criticised. Is there something you can think of?
My thing was injuries. So coming back from injuries, and I kind of had this thing where I thought that, well, it probably was out there that I was injury prone. I was so desperate to prove that I wasn't injury prone. So my whole focus then was just doing absolutely everything I can to make sure I'm fit and available, and I managed to overcome that. But going back to sort of Harry Kane, like, he's football, you hear the best footballers speak, and the ones especially who played the highest level, you listen to likes of Gerrard and Rooney and things like that. They say they don't enjoy their trophies because they're already on to the next one. Do you know what I mean? It comes around that quick, and Harry Kane will be exactly the same.
Yeah.
That England tournament has gone now. He's thinking about the Premier League with Tottenham. He's thinking about, can he get him in the Champions League? Can he win a Champions League? Can he win an FA Cup? Can he, do you know what I mean, do all these things? And that's will be his focus. He won't be looking behind himself.
You've got to, though. It's a coping strategy, isn't it? You know, you have to be like that. You have to, you know, otherwise you'd go crazy, wouldn't you? You wouldn't get out of bed if you thought
too much about something.
So in the end, you've got to be so single-minded, like you said, and just, right, getting on. I'm on to the next game. Right, I'm back on the pitch. I'm going to do my best for Tottenham. That's it. It's gone now. You've got to think like that, haven't you?
And I genuinely think the best players don't enjoy their successes until they retire. 100%. They just keep going. Do you know what I mean? The next one. Ronaldo doesn't sit back and look at all of his Ballon d'Ors and all the goals he scored and all that sort of stuff. Think, oh, wow, I've done amazing. He's thinking about breaking more records, isn't he?
You will do, probably when he retires, when you sit back and you go.
Yeah. I think I listened to Michael Owen the other day, and he was saying about how he, I think he'd broken into the Liverpool team pretty early at 17, but he'd gone from youth team into the reserves for a couple of games and then straight in. And he at the time, he didn't realise, I think he'd scored more goals for Liverpool at a certain age. He broke a couple of records. That was it. He's Premier League 17, got the Golden Boot, and you had Les Ferdinand, Alan Shearer, Ian Wright, who else would have been around at that time, Teddy Sheringham, Andy Cole, and he got the Golden Boot. And at the time, he was just like, well, on to the next one, next season. He said it was only the other day, he was sat back with his daughter, and he went, flipping out, 17, got the Golden Boot, and you got all of these world-class strikers. I mean, what an era that was for strikers. English strikers as well.
I think it's like even Kevin Ratcliffe, when he was speaking of, they enjoy talking about it now because they can relax and enjoy it and look back on it. Whereas when you're in the bubble, in the zone, you're going on and on. Even the same for us. So I think even the same for me, like playing at all the different clubs. You're trying to get a contract. You're trying to get in the team. You're trying to stay in the team. It's just constantly moving. It's the next game all the time. You never really sit back and reflect and go, hey, actually, that was quite good. I said to Gav, I watched the highlights of me playing in the conference season against Northwich, and I was like, flipping it, what a handful I was there. But you look back, because you never really look at it. I looked back, I was watching myself, and I was showing the kids, and I was like, look at your dad wasn't that bad at football. then I shanked the cross, and then they were both the boys were going, look, you know, I was like, all right.
Who was that? Oh, that was Jags, that one. That was Jags did that. No, but we said, I remember you coming to watch a Telford game, didn't you? And you were like, flipping heck, them lads, like, football's moved on, and they're big and strong. I was like, mate, you just become desensitised. You'd have flipping been right in the mix there, having like throwing them all over the place. And like you say, it's only when you look back you realise how, you know, good you were at certain times and how particularly poor you were at certain times. It's brilliant to look back, isn't it?
Yeah, I get that exactly the same. The physicality side. I look back at old games and I was at Wolves in my physical prime, where I look at how I used to run. And I look at the game now and think they're so fit, but I was probably physically at that level, technically, but physically at that level. Yeah. You didn't appreciate it at the time, do you? Do you just take...
What age were you at your prime, Dave, do you think?
31, I think, yeah.
You remember you were running into the box, Dave, like running with full tilt into the box, arriving late, 6-1, getting on the end of things. Like, what's an absolute handful. Imagine that. Imagine tracking him. Like, you're centre mid, Dave's just running you the other way, and like, the ball's gone out the wing, and you know the cross is coming in. You're in trouble. Like, people are in trouble living with you. It's only when you look back at it now. When you're in it, you're thinking, I haven't done this, I haven't done that, I've got to do this.
Need to get better at this, need to get better at that.
Yeah. Right, Series 2 then. Who do we have on? Ryan Lowe. That was good, wasn't it? Ryan Lowe on one. The idea of like Shrewsbury stories a little bit, wasn't it? And so relevant at the moment.
In modern day manager as well, finding out that sort of stuff was fascinating.
Yeah. Michael Bridges we had on, didn't we? I love that one. Skitty, Carl Hakimi, Simon and Ben Smith. Did we just have 5 guests then?
Skitty was on, wasn't he? Skitty.
I think Skitty was there.
Carl Hakimi.
Yeah. Who's your favourite guest in there, Gav?
We're not missing someone there.
Oh, it's a tough one. Different reasons, isn't it? Like Carl Hakimi for me, like...
Powerful, that last half an hour of Carl Hakimi, wasn't it?
I had something stuck in my eye, I think. I was struggling.
Life lessons, that was.
Lessons, that was it. Far more powerful than anything.
Do you know what it was, though, for me with him? His delivery. Like, the story's amazing, isn't it? I mean, it's easy to look at that story, but it's just, I felt like his delivery was unbelievable. Like, he was so calm, like, he didn't get overly emotional, but the way he delivers his journey, I think, is like, flipping heck.
Yeah, you can tell it's coming from like a real deep
Really
place, can't you?
deep,
It's
yeah.
not throwaway comments. Everything he thinks about, everything he talks about is well thought out, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You can tell he's experienced every one of those words that he's speaking. Yeah, it's so powerful.
Deepest thinker by a mile, wasn't he, compared to the others?
Because he was quite...
He had time to reflect.
Even before his illness, he was a very enlightened individual. Do you know what I mean? Sort of spiritual meditation, understood the mind, how it worked, how he could control his mind, all those sorts of things. He'd been on a bit of a journey himself before that point, and I always say that I think that was one of his biggest assets when he come to that stage to fight cancer. He had the mental facilities to actually to kind of park it to one side and kind of get past it.
If we were gonna break up the podcast and put them all sort of into one podcast, that last half hour would probably be the last half hour of it. If we said it was going to be 2 hours. But again, I think for me overall was probably Lowy, just because of that. You know, hopefully.
I think for you though, because you was like an aspiring manager and you being a manager, I think for you it was good because you were like obviously talking about things that are more relevant to you, isn't?
Yeah.
They're all brilliant. They're all have their moments. Which are brilliant.
Well, Kevin Ratcliffe on talking about what he won, like, and he's captain in Everton, and he's talking about playing for Everton and driving Ian Rush. Like Ian Rush dropping Rush off at the Shankly Gate. He's centre forward for Liverpool, and then Rats goes like over to Goodison Park as captain of Everton, and he picks him up after training,
and then marks him on Saturday.
And you're thinking like, what is that about?
Yeah.
What is that about?
I don't think I've ever felt so inferior and sitting next to a footballer, ex-footballer, when I sat next to him. Just because obviously he's like Kevin Ratcliffe, obviously, you know, he's an older gentleman now. And then he starts talking about, and when we won the First Division Championship, which is now the Premier League, and then, the Cup Winners' Cup, and he started mentioning Kevin Sheedy, and brilliant, innit? It was
talk about your debut then, Rats. Old Trafford, that one. Second game? FA Cup semi-final. Yeah, that one was Ellen Road.
Where was that? Ellen Road. So, I think there's about 70,000 people.
And 21 to be a centre-half as well, going to 21, a centre-half.
He was saying he was rapid, wasn't he?
I remember that. I mean, obviously, really young there, but I remember always hearing about him being absolutely rapid. And defenders back then, I don't think were rapid, whether they were out-and-out defenders, whereas everybody's rapid.
I expected him to almost talk aggressive, because obviously he wasn't overly tall, was he? And I always thought, he must have been really aggressive and all that. I remember bits of him because my brother loved Everton when we were growing up, and I was more Liverpool because they were the two teams. But I expected him to talk all aggressive, but I was surprised he wasn't really that. Like, he obviously was an aggressive player, but
he was quite aggressive to me sometimes as a manager.
But
he had the way that streak, didn't he?
Definitely.
He had as a manager.
I think you needed to, but he had a nasty streak. If you're a 6 foot centre half playing in the best team in the country, you're gonna have a nasty streak on you.
Which I imagine, but I think it's more like his humility in not going over the top on that. Like, he'd speak about Andy Gray about when he did the top hat and flicked it in to break the geezer's nose. Yeah. But obviously from his perspective, he didn't really. Whereas I thought that, like you say, it was one of his traits. He didn't really hang on that too much, did he? It was more about he was talking about his indeficiencies and how he overcome some of the things that he probably wasn't good at. Yeah, that was quite good.
Yeah, no, they were all good. We not missed anyone out there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Ryan Lowe, Michael Bridges, Skitty, Carl
Smithy and his dad.
Yeah,
Smithy and Simon.
Smith and Ben Smith. I mean, Simon
that
Smith
was fascinating as well, because I think I used to follow Newcastle a bit as a kid. Like, listening to all those stories from that 90s Newcastle team was amazing.
And he's like, you're really good friends with Bobby Robson and stuff, and you're just like, what an amazing insight, isn't it? And the people like we see as legends, absolute heroes, and he's, that's what I enjoy sometimes, and I can understand why people like the podcast, because you listen to somebody who it's fascinating what they're like. Tell me about Bobby Robson. Like Michael Bridges' story about Bobby Robson saying about, what was it, his wife's boobs or whatever.
And calling him Gary all the time.
Calling him Gary all the time. I mean, for me, I liked speaking to Michael Bridges because it was back home when I know Dave didn't come on that one, which didn't make it as special because
wasn't quite the same.
But it was a great day out that as well, wasn't it? And he loves to chat, doesn't he? And he's got great stories. And we had a few beers.
We should have kept the mics on for when we went across the road into the Boozer, because that was funny, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Loads of brilliant stories coming out. Then it sort of just overspilled and we just carried on and on and on. And I think that it was good, wasn't it?
Do you know what? But they're all the same, aren't they? Whether it's Kevin Ratcliffe years and years ago, or whether it's Michael Bridges a bit more recent, or whether it's Ryan Lowe managing now, or Conor Cody playing now.
Brian Little.
It's just
Brian Little, that's it. Yeah,
how have we forgot? Oh my goodness, Brian Little! I haven't mentioned.
Imagine if we hadn't mentioned him.
Yeah, Good job he doesn't listen.
Yeah.
Good job. There's absolutely no chance Brian Little will listen to this.
When I phoned him, I was like, Gaffer, will you come on the podcast? He's like, yeah, brilliant. And then obviously spoke to him. I said, like, have a little listen. I'll send you the link, see what you think.
He's not listening.
And then, about a month later, what do you think of the podcast? What do you mean? What did you think of it? You listened to it?
I haven't had time, son. No, I haven't had time.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's smashing.
Yeah, Lizzie's listened to it.
You're three smashing
times.
lads, but I haven't had time, son. I haven't had time.
Yeah.
Oh, his voice is amazing. Isn't it? So soothing.
Oh, mate, flipping it. That time when he came in the changing room, he was in the car, wasn't it? And he just went, not angry, Gavin, I'm just disappointed. And I just sort of slumped in the chair like that.
That's what he had. That was his technique. He wouldn't really shout and bawl at you. Like, he never, like, absolutely rollicked me. He'd just be like, oh, don't need you now, Sam. Don't need you now. Go away from me, Sam. Like, he'd just be like all the time. I just go, Sam, giving you a chance and you've let me down. He'd just make you feel bad. He'd never, like, which was worse. Yeah. Which was worse, like with manager like shouting ball, like Stuart Gray or something, like shouting ball at me.
You know where you stand.
Yeah, Peter Reid would be like, if you give the ball away again, Sam, I'm going to smash your face, and I'd be like, oh, like whatever, and you're ready to argue back in that. He never did that. He would always just be like, I don't know how much more I can help you, Sam. I don't know what more I can do for you. Just like disappointment, just like, and I used to think, I'd be like, sorry, Gaffer, sorry about that. Sorry for getting sent off. Sorry for missing that.
Thinking about the Gaffer, you know who we should get on the podcast? Wardy, Gavin Ward, goalkeeper coach now at QPR. Go on, what are you going to say? Yeah, Drew, you should get him on. Yeah, I think we should get him on. Yeah.
Has he got good stories though?
Well, he'll have a lot of stories. It'll just be Wardy's delivery.
He's proper like Captain Sensible, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like he's the fittest. Gavin Ward, he's goalkeeper coach at QPR now, isn't he? He's the fittest man in the world. But like, with that level of fitness comes sacrifices, and his sacrifices have no banter.
And he knows it as well. That's the best thing about him. He's so like on it, focused, clean cut. I mean, the shape he's in, mate, is frightening. Like Brian Little used to get him, used to basically talk him round to having kebabs on the way home and stuff like that, didn't he? And fish and chips. And he was just like, Gaffer, I'd rather not. And the Gaffer would go on, just have half a fish. You'll be all right. Just have half a fish. But he's brilliant. He looks after me, like gets tickets and stuff and sign shirts for Wilson.
We'll have to have a think for the next series. We'll put it out there to everyone who listens that do they want loads of guests? We'll go out there and try and get loads. You want a mixture of just us three and then guests, or
we've had good feedback about us three, haven't we? I certainly have.
Sometimes I quite like it just being the three of us though, because it's a bit more relaxed and we can stop it. And I think we have to, you have to do a little bit of prep, don't you, for when you've got people coming on with. We don't when it's just us three, we don't need to do as much prep.
Well, you two don't. You just turn up and flip in Quality Street here and everything. You cups of tea.
That was prevalent with that World Cup special we did at the end. That was that's a tough listen back.
It was
funny, really funny.
But it was good fun.
Yeah, I think people liked it,
though, didn't they? Lots of people said they liked it to me.
Yeah, I think that's what we authentic, aren't we? We're authentic. We've not. Do you know one thing I did say? I think other than actually Whit said earlier about cutting down because of timings, I don't think we've had to edit anything. We've not had to cut anything out. Nothing that's ever been like truly, they wouldn't want to listen to that or wouldn't hear that.
That wasn't very funny.
We just put it out there, haven't we? Yeah, just stuck it out.
That's how we're going wrong.
Yeah. That's why. Yeah, we're not under the cosh.
I think though this is going to be so our last ones. This will be the end of the series, won't it? And then because we need to concentrate on this live event, don't we? Because that's coming up. How are you feeling about the live event, Dave?
Really excited. I'll be nervous. Yeah, I'll be nervous on the night. I'll be nervous before it, but I just want to make sure that everything we can control beforehand is as good as it can possibly be. And then what happens on the night happens.
I think the nervousness comes from a responsibility that people are paying good money in this climate, and we want to give them the best experience. Definitely. And I think what we're doing is, to give everybody an insight, we're working really hard behind the scenes to make it the best experience we can.
There's three things I'm worried about.
Oh, mate.
Right. One, I'm worried about
what you're wearing on the night.
I'm not worried about that.
I am. I'm worried about what you're wearing on the night.
I'm worried about getting us some little clips and like having someone who's going to work that, like the technical side of it. That's not our strength, is it? Like we're going to talk. I'm worried about that. Secondly, I'm worried about there being enough beers for the audience. I think that's important, isn't it? I want everybody to have a nice time to drink. I don't want massive queues at the Theatre 7.
But again, we're trying to make sure there's little stalls so everybody isn't queuing for a beer.
Things like that are out of our control, aren't they? That's out of our control a little bit. Thirdly, just worried on the lads turned up. and being funny and being sensible.
Yeah, I was going to say intoxicated, Sam. I think the word you're looking
Not as intoxicated, it's being sensible. Like the lads, I know it's 20 years on, isn't it? But like, you know, those lads who played for Shrewsbury and that when we got promotion for the conference. I mean, there were a lot of things the lads. Sensible wasn't one of something I would accuse them of being.
When you sat in front of 650 people in a theatre,
they'll get nervous.
They might get a bit sensible then.
Nervous.
I reckon that might be a sobering moment.
It's about just controlling them when in the green room, not drinking too much. Because they don't have to come out and be funny. Do you know what I mean? It's they were telling story. Yeah, it will help. But, but do you know what I mean? It's more if they've had they're meeting up with old friends they haven't seen for 15, 20 years, and they get a little bit merry, and then they come out and they are just all over the place.
But I think that's what the punters want to see. I think they want it.
So
I think they want to see. I want to think they want to see Darren Moss fall off the stage. And, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, health and safety night.
I have to throw him off the stage.
Yeah. Sam might launch him. Be brilliant. But listen, it's like. It's brilliant, isn't it? We're obviously getting butterflies is something worth doing, and mate, we sold it out.
And what's been amazing, I've had 4 or 5 messages this week post Christmas with people saying got tickets for Christmas. That's amazing. People are buying gifts of us three.
That's quite. Look, what have you got me? Brilliant. Right. That's Gav, Sam, and Dave. Brilliant.
There's a pic. So this is the actual tickets. Pictures. What do the tickets look like? Are they just like
as you'd imagine?
There's not like a picture of us.
No.
Why?
Just says in the stiff slide.
I wanted like a variety. Remember, like Kellogg's, they had like different characters. Like in each one, I want a picture of Dave, like with his arms crossed, like a gangster, and then another one of me moonwalking. And
so there's no pictures of us on the tickets.
No.
That would have been a nice touch. If we do another one, I think we insist on them putting pictures.
We're doing like posters on the night and that, haven't we? Like for the VIP guys, they're getting like some signed posters. And stuff.
I mean, that's cool, isn't it? The VIP bit. So they're just going to like chill out with us beforehand and everything, aren't they?
They'll be with us, be with all the ex-players, all the guests.
Chat, pictures.
Photo opportunities. We've got the big banner for them to stand in front of.
And then, that's what, it's trying to sort out the after party, isn't it? That's what we need a good venue around town.
It was sorted, wasn't it?
It was sorted. It's not anymore.
It's been pulled, hasn't it?
We're trying to get a couple of things in the pipeline. Because that'll be good.
It'll be all sorted for the night. It'll be all sorted for the night.
Good for them to come the after party as well. You might hear some stories that you're not allowed. Is it
going to be limited? Like we're having to limit it, aren't we?
We're going to have to, aren't we? Because 650 people come in. We can't have an after party for 650 people.
In the quarry, just tell everyone down in the quarry. Be like Will Ferrell in Old School. Come on! What does he shout? Street naked running. Come on!
I want to help you, but I've not seen the film.
Yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant.
You've not seen Old School?
No.
Oh my god.
Travesty.
Embarrassing. Yeah. I'm a bit jealous.
I don't like watching anything with Will Ferrell because everybody just goes, he looks like you for the whole thing.
I've got, whenever Sam calls me, a picture of Will Ferrell comes up on my phone. It says, it's got Sammy A from the Toon, and then it's a big picture of Will Ferrell. I've had it for about 15 years.
So after today, we're going to leave it for a little bit. We're going to concentrate on the live show because we've got 6-7 weeks.
Yeah.
6 or 7 weeks to that, so we need to concentrate on that. We'll get that.
Yeah.
We'll get that done. Hopefully have an amazing time. Then we'll reassess what we're doing with our lives. Dave, you're looking at retirement possibly, aren't you, from football?
Yeah.
Is that definite? Are we allowed to even say that?
Pondering it.
Too early?
Pondering it.
No, this will be my last season playing.
Oh, will it?
Yeah, this will be my last season playing.
Bit emotional.
It is. I had a good go, though.
Why are you so certain?
Physically, I don't feel too bad. I feel like I carry on playing, but it's more my family revolves around me playing football for however long now, and it's getting to stage now.
Does.
Yeah, and this podcast does as well. But I've got so much other stuff going on and different opportunities in like the media and stuff, which I'm having to kind of turn down to play football and things like that. I think the transition's finally right now. And weekends, I want to spend a bit more time with the kids at weekend. My little lad plays on a Saturday morning as well. So I miss a lot of his games at the moment. So the chance to go watch him play.
He's a good player, Jack. He's left-footed, so...
And then spend more time with the family. And I say with the podcast and different things, got 4 or 5 different things going on in my life from a work point of view. So just trying to, I think it's time. I think it's time, definitely.
Fair play. You've had a good go at it, haven't you?
Yeah. So you come and watch the last game, haven't you?
Oh, we've said we're definitely...
How far is it, though? Of course it will.
It's going to be some strange name, whatever it is.
So in the Welsh Premier League, it splits halfway through the season to a top 6 and a bottom 6. And then new fixtures come out. So.
Yeah. I will be there. We've already said we'll be there.
Definitely bring all the kids, 100% will come. So what happens if, Dave, you get a big job in the media, like you're on Match of the Day, and it coincides with us doing a podcast.
We'll have to go to him, won't we?
What's going to be your excuse for Gary Lineker?
Yeah, started this first, didn't I? So.
Yeah, exactly.
Gal,
Takes priority.
Gal, listen, we're going to have to start an hour later because I've got the lads here for a podcast.
You get paid, presumably, obviously, lads get paid for matches they won. I'd imagine it's more than your appearance fee for coming on the podcast.
I still haven't been reimbursed yet.
Right, so we're thinking Fantastic Memories, Series 2. We're going to put out a little montage, aren't we, Gav?
We'll do that tonight. Obviously, this is the 28th, so we'll do that tonight. I had a lump in my throat when I watched it.
Yeah.
Proper.
Yeah,
brilliant. Brings back the memories. It's been a brilliant year. Like
how much we've packed.
it's a bit like what we were talking about the football before. You get that lost in it, don't you? And you keep going, you keep going, you keep going, and then until you can actually look back on something like that, you think, well, actually, wow.
What about get the balls out?
I was going to say how.
Yeah,
it was funny when we did get the balls, wasn't it? They were great, them Shrewsbury lads, weren't they?
I've still got.
We'll have to do another one of those.
Yeah,
I've still got
that was
sore
good fun.
I've still got sore glutes from that.
We need to go to Preston, though. We can do it Preston anytime, can't we? Do it with Ryan.
Yeah. You see that video on YouTube, by the way, if you want to go on our YouTube.
Have a look at that YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
if you go about 2 minutes 40 and you'll see a teapot volley. Decent.
GC, that's what he used to do.
It was a clearance. It was a clearance.
And it was good when we did that video. We went in the match. That was good.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah,
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But,
we'll do more of that. We said we were going to do it. Get the balls out at Preston, didn't we?
Yeah, it's just fitting it in, though, isn't it?
Logistics.
When Dave retires, it might free up some time.
Yeah, but also as well, I can't say too much about this, but if you want a chance, listeners, to watch Gav and Sam play again, I think the news we get in released the week that this comes out. So
surely there's some bigger names though.
But there's going to be something happening which you'll get to see a lot of old players play, and it'll be great. So keep your eyes peeled, especially on Shrewsbury Town Foundation. They're helping me with it.
Brilliant.
But yeah, I'm looking forward. Yeah, it's going to be a big match.
Has anybody got any boots out?
Me and Sam are in. We didn't even know about it
In the squad.
Just to let you know, there's a team here. I was like, all right, I'm in there.
I've started training already.
Have you?
Let into a little secret. Yeah, I started training.
Mate, you worked on your crossing for 20 years and nothing ever happened. So
I didn't work on my crossing. I started yesterday.
But it's going to be an absolute belter.
Yeah.
It is. We've got some amazing players lined up. When I showed you guys, you're going to be up against. You start to panic a little bit.
Yeah.
I think there should be some kind of age where you can't be playing against someone who's 10 years younger.
I don't mind playing in the defence as a back seven. Just get people around me. Just try and pull people in.
I'll start off on the left wing, but I'll end up being stood next to you.
Yeah.
You don't decide to play a charity match, do you? And end up parking the bus in the back six.
Just keep it tight, lads. Keep it tight. Time wasting. Time wasting in a charity match. What's Sanders? Just killing time, lads. Just wasting.
What's Gav signalling there? 5 minutes gone and flipping doing this with his hands. Rotate.
We need to start, me and you, Gav, we need to start having a little knockabout. We need to get a little five-a-side.
Yeah.
If anybody's got a little five-a-side thing going on,
the thing is, five-a-side, that's me in it, that ain't you. We'll need to do five-a-side and some sprints. We'll go sprinting for you.
Five-a-side. If we're doing below head height, you're taking away your best asset, aren't you? You're from the chest up, you are a top player.
Premier League. Elite.
From the
elite
chest
player.
Down, bang average.
Yeah, not even that. I'm all right with the ball. It's just without the ball, there's a problem.
Right then, well, thanks very much for all your support over the last year. Been amazing. We've had loads of good feedback. We've had very little criticism, haven't we? Weird.
Don't speak too soon.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everybody's been really positive.
We've been totally blessed, haven't we, to have so many people comment and positive and follow us. And what about 650 people coming to the live event?
Yeah, it's amazing. I suppose it's not like football, though, is it? I suppose if people don't like it, you just don't listen. It's not like football where they keep on having they keep turning up to the match every week. Aiston's been picked again. They just have to sit and watch you every week regardless. I suppose if people don't like us, if this go, I don't like Dave and Sam and Gav, well, just don't listen.
Yeah, bog you. But a lot of people do. So
an amazing year. We've got a live show to look forward to. Brilliant.
Really good.
Yeah.
We can't even see her get tickets now because it's sold out.
I think there's 6 tickets, but 4 or 5 of them are with the little eye on them. I looked this morning.
But that restricted view thing, but does that matter?
Nah.
It's not like we're going to be like. It's not like we're going to be.
The restricted views, like if it's a production. So if it's like someone from Strictly Come Dancing or the pantomime, you might get it. But because of the way we're going to be set up, that'll all be viewable. I think as well because there's 6 tickets separate, people might be a little bit. Oh yeah, I want to sit with someone.
Dave was saying we need a bit of makeup on as well before you go on stage. I was like scoffing at that at first, but I think you need to, don't you?
Especially mine and your foreheads, with a bit of shine come off that.
Don't want to blind anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, the house lights on. Don't look too greasy.
Do you have to put a bit of makeup on then? Do you have to put makeup on when you do the commentary on Sky and that?
Do you not put makeup on for this?
If you
Have you not got any makeup on? Oh, okay. No, me either.
in a studio, so when you got the light shine on you, it's like anti-shine more than anything on your like forehead.
Roy Keane gets all that on him, doesn't he?
Definitely.
Seen the clip? There's a clip where he's putting on one time, isn't there? Michael Richards is hammering him first.
I used to hate that when I did the modelling and that. We used to have to nightmare it was.
Trying all them different pairs of socks. Right, anyway, I've said thanks for it. We need to go now, don't we? Right, thanks very much for listening. What an amazing year. It's finished, haven't we?
I don't want to. I'm not pressing the button.
Series over.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving.
I tell you, we do need to say a massive thank you to Budgie, who've been amazing, haven't we? Supporting us through Series 2.
They've not only been sponsors, have they? They've like looked after us. They've like come out and had drinks with us. And
well, they didn't come to the last one. We invited them at the last one, didn't turn up.
Yeah, the one before that though. Didn't put our hands in our pockets, did we? Looked after us. That food in Bridgenorth was unbelievable. Desperate to go back to that place.
Masala chips.
Yeah.
Could have given them a shout out there, but I can't remember the name of the place.
Yeah.
Falcon.
But they've been quality, and we're so lucky to have them on board with us. So.
No, brilliant.
And so lucky to have them guarantee us for sponsors.
I was going to say, I'm not just saying this to try and plug for the third series, but they are amazing human beings.
Third series is very much dependent on budget.
No pressure.
Right, lads, well done, everybody.
Cheers, everyone. Thanks for your support. Amazing. In the Stiffs with Budging Motors. Budging Motors are on Stafford Park in Telford and Featherbed Lane in Shrewsbury. For all your car needs, contact Budging now.